All right, good day, everybody. It is Thursday, February 17th, 2022. Welcome to Headline Hits with LW. All right, we're gonna dive in real quick and we're gonna go really fast here. I'm just gonna put a few things out, leave it there for you guys to check out. I hope everybody's having a great Thursday. We're getting real close to the weekend. So here we go. Massive U-turn. Australia to repeal almost all corona apprehended rules targeting the unvaxxed. Okay, so what's going on here, folks? There's a lot of U-turns. There's a lot of protesting. There's a lot of people standing up. There's a lot of countries taking all these restrictions and throwing them in file 13. Um, I mean, we're talking UK, we're talking Scotland. Now, one of the biggest restricted countries in the world is now making a U-turn. So, it in what amounts to a seismic U-turn in policy, Australia is to relax all sickness uh, rules targeting the nation's unvacationed, despite having previously promised to keep unvacationed individuals under a continuous lockdown. Now they're even talking about bars and restaurants. They've been keeping these people out of the bars and restaurants for months now. So it looks like Australia may be turning a corner here. They've been feeling a lot of pressure, political pressure, not just in Australia but around the world with everything that's kicked off there in Canada. I'm telling you, folks, this is some really good news. This is hopeful. So back in February, or for February 19th, regulations banning the unvacation from bars and restaurants will be relaxed with individuals who have neither been vacationed nor have recovered from the sickness once again. So it looks like March 5th for all of our people over there in Australia, March 5th, which what does it matter if it's March 5th or if it's today? If you're going to do away with it, just do away with it. Why does there have to be a set date for that? I don't understand that. If you're going to do away with it, do away with it. All right, so let's move on to the next headline. Let's talk about AOC and Pelosi, the drinker of the House. All right, AOC will not commit to voting against Nancy, the drinker of the House, Pelosi. Um, so she's not AOC unfortunately carries some weight. She is the next generation. She is the spearhead of the next generation in the Democrat Party, and she carries a lot of weight. And so a lot of people are wanting to know right now if the drinker of the House runs yet again. Which remember we talked about this several times on this show. She has told everybody that she will not seek the drinker of the House position again, and then turn around months later and decided she was going to seek that again in this next midterm. So I ask you this: why? We've been told all kinds of scenarios, all kinds of theories of this, that, and the other, but here she is back in the news, and she's talking about becoming drinker of the House yet again. So Alexandria Cortez has refused to say whether she will join the effort to oust the drinker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, in the 2022 midterms. So she's just saying that she would like to see the Democrat Party grow some stones and maybe take some different directions. And she's hoping that there would be a bold leadership that can address the root causes of all their issues. Where's this lady coming from? Because I've never heard her speak like this before. Um, AOC blamed leadership for being reactive to public discourse. I mean, when have you ever heard her talk like this? She's always been the one out there throwing gas on the flames, so to speak. And now she seems like, and remember, when she'd speak, she sounded like she was so uneducated, it was ridiculous. So we've made fun of her for being a bartender at times. So I don't know, something to really pay attention to, because it's pretty crazy that she's actually seems to almost be supporting Nancy Pelosi right now. Pelosi put out a tweet, says, while we have made progress, much more needs to be done to improve people's lives. Yes, I'm sure you are all about improving our lives. This election is critical. Nothing less is at stake other than our democracy. So here they go with that word again. But we don't apologize. We organize. I'm running for reelection to Congress to deliver for the people and defend democracy. So now that is her campaign platform for running for Congress again, um, and to run for Speaker of the House. So I don't know. It's confusing. All right, let's hit the next headline. Let's talk about Quebec. Quebec drops the sickness mandates after rejecting Trudeau's emergency decree. So he put out a decree yesterday. It's an emergency act, a war act, where I said last night on the show, I said yesterday on Podbean that he is wanting this act so he can go in and round up any protesters, any patriots that he disagrees with, and they're calling it illegal what they're doing, which is not, it's not illegal. And Quebec has stepped up and said, no, not here, pal. We're not supporting the prime minister's efforts to crush the Freedom Convoy, and they're just not going to comply. So that's good news. There's a lot going on in Quebec. There's a lot going on in Calgary, Montreal. So this freedom convoy is all over the place. And in my opinion, I think that it's starting to really catch some good traction, and waking not just people up in Canada and making a difference for the Canadian Patriots, but I think it's waking people up across the world. I really do. I think what the Canadians are doing right now is really pushing the envelope, and getting people aware of where everything is, where we stand, and how we can make a difference. We can do this peacefully. We can do this legally. We just have to unite. All right, let's hit the next headline, and it's more about the Freedom Convoy. Protesters gather outside Canadian Embassy in New York City to support the truckers of the Freedom Convoy. Large crowd chanting, "We won't comply," gathered outside the Canadian Embassy in New York City on Tuesday. The protesters, made up of Americans, according to the social media post, was in support of the Freedom Convoy of truckers north of the border. So Travis, David, and Paul Davis are all in North Carolina right now. They are joining a convoy here in America to do the exact same thing. So keep them three in your prayers, and just keep them in your thoughts. And check out Travis, because he's going to be updating on his page there. He put out a post on his community page about 20 minutes ago or so of one of the trucks that's in the convoy. It's a really nice truck. It's got American flag wrapped on both sides of it. It's a beautiful, beautiful truck. So these guys, they're taking to the streets, folks, and they're doing it peacefully. Let's hit the next headline here, and this one I find interesting. Biden's energy department: people who do not embrace climate change are spreading misinformation. Man, so now this is their next favorite plan. This is their next favorite play in their playbook. So originally, if you disagreed with them, or if you were fighting and pushing back against them, everybody's racist. Everybody is a white supremacy. You're racist. So now the next play is you're spreading misinformation, and you hear it all the time. You hear it on CNN, you hear it on ABC, you hear it from other channels on YouTube. You're just spreading misinformation. The latest narrative in the ongoing claims that policy disagreements amounts to misinformation now includes climate change. Those who do not see weather as an existential threat are spreading misinformation, this time about solar and wind energy. So the Biden administration is complaining that people are actually attacking um, the Green New Deal, solar and wind forms of energy. And I'm here to tell you, I've worked in some of this stuff. It's not the greatest. Okay, it's not the greatest. If the wind doesn't blow, you're not creating energy. If it's cloudy outside, you're not creating energy. There's so many variables to this clean energy that they don't tell you about. Now, do I believe that solar and wind energy is good? I do. A matter of fact, if I ever get the opportunity to build another house, I plan on putting solar panels on it and out in the yard. I plan on seeing that type of energy. I plan on possibly having a small little wind turbine there to help create energy, but I'm doing it for a different reason. And I want to be off the grid. I don't be dependent on any kind of energy source, and so that's why I'm doing it. But these guys are throwing around accusations like everybody does. It's misinformation, and honestly, I'm getting sick of it. So let's hit the next headline. I've been reporting on this a few times now. So Peter Schweizer's Red Handed hits #1 on New York Times bestseller list for third week in a row. I'm telling you guys, this is a great book. He's talking about and linking the Biden family, including Joe Biden himself, to backdoor deals with China, to backdoor deals with the Ukraine. He calls out Hunter Biden for what Hunter Biden is. And some of the things that he hits on is how the Biden family scored some $31 million from 5 deals in China, all with individuals that have direct ties to the highest levels of Chinese intelligence. How China's global energy company linked to Chinese uh, intelligence operating sent close to $6 million to Hunter Biden in 2017. That's just some of the hot topics that are in this book, but he goes through it. And the amazing thing about Peter here is he also had played a part in causing a lot of FBI investigations and some of these other politicians that are out there. So if you haven't checked out that book, you can do so. It's on Amazon. All right. Hillary Clinton strikes back. She claims Durham revelations are fake scandal. Failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton on Wednesday finally acknowledged last week's court filings by special counsel John Durham, calling the revelations a fake scandal. So, what she says in this article is she is pointing the finger back at Trump and saying that this is just a distraction. They're just trying to throw this stuff out there to take all of the heat off of him because he's such a dirty man. He's done so many dirty deals and he's got so many skeletons in his closet that this is just a distraction. That's what she's claiming. She is still claiming that Trump was involved in Russia collusion. I mean, this lady is delusional, but she's finally speaking out. And of course, she's been hung 24 times. Maybe this is clone number 7. I don't know. But she's back in the news. So you guys take it for what it's worth. All right, last article of the day. This one here is a little irritating for me. Falsey, no magic number of cases for the pandemic to end. Don't know number for decision on the matrix yet. So he was interviewed yesterday on ABC News, and the interviewer asked him, "So as these numbers continue to drop, where is the threshold where we can say that the sickness is gone?" And he said, "There is no threshold. The sickness will always be here. They will continue to push this narrative, push this propaganda nonstop, and it's this is who this guy is. He does not want this to end ever. They want this to go on for eternity. They are pushing hard for vacations for a reason. A lot of it's about the money. A lot of it's about control. A lot of it, in my opinion, could be about depopulation. That's my opinion. I have a right to that. But why else would you push something like this so hard if you didn't have alternative motives, if you didn't have underlining things that you were trying to accomplish? Because none of this from day one has ever made any sense. The numbers have never added up. Masks don't work. The vacations don't work. So what are they doing, folks? This guy does not want it to end. Ever. Ever. All right. Well, you guys have a great Thursday afternoon, late morning, whatever it is for you in your time zones. Thanks for joining us here. We will be back on later this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the 3 at 3 on Podbean. Love you all. Have a great day.